Hey everyone, World Film Geek here, and I interviewed Alastair Orr. The South African-born film director is best known for his work such as The Unforgiving, Expiration, and House on Willow Street. His latest film, Triggered, is coming out on November 6th from Samuel Goldwyn Films. I hope you all enjoyed the interview. I gotta say, I really enjoyed Trigger. I have to say, I think it's one of my actual favorite films this year. I just love the concept and the overall film. It was amazing.
Awesome. So glad to hear that, man. It means so much.
So my first question is, how did the idea come up for the film?
So, I mean, we've all seen Saw movies. There's like a lot of those going around. We always thought that was a wasted opportunity. It was always like strangers waking up in a room together with a death trap and have to kill themselves. And we thought, well, this is a wasted opportunity. Like, anyone would kill a stranger given being in that situation. Or wouldn't it be more interesting if it's a family member or a friend? And that's kind of where the genesis began. We thought, like, there's so much more dynamic opportunities to play with tension, humor, that kind of stuff. And, yeah, just a little bit more backstory and chemistry between the characters if they've known each other for a long time.
That's awesome. And yeah, the first thing I thought in my head was the movie Battle Royale from Japan, because it had the similar premise with the class and how they had to survive on the island for 3 days and kill each other until there was one left. And I thought this had to have been influenced somewhat by Battle Royale. That's the first thing that popped in my head when I even heard about the plot. And then when I saw the movie, I felt the same way. I was like, this is so like Battle Royale like, that it's this group of friends and, they have to kill each other to survive. And I found that really interesting.
Well, the way we kind of saw it is that Battle Royale, it almost transcends the movie now. It's almost a genre, and we thought, well, we're allowed to play in the genre. So, yeah, we don't take ourselves too seriously. We're aware we're riffing on Battle Royale. But, yeah, we totally respect that film and love that film to death. It's the gold standard for us.
That's awesome. And you have a great ensemble cast in the film. I actually talked to Raina Swart a couple of days ago, and she said she had so much fun. She had so much fun working with you on the film. And so what was it like working with the entire cast? Because they just seemed so amazing. And I was quite surprised to hear that they didn't even know each other, and they just gelled so well with this.
Yeah, look, they became best friends basically from the first table read. They were on, they went full into it. They really, really committed to it. And, like most of them, it was their first time doing a film. So, like, I'm very proud of the people we found. It was an interesting process. It was always a friend of a friend of a friend. And that's how, like, we built out the cast. So they did all know each other. But, yeah, they were very young. I would say inexperienced, but they went very hard for it, and they threw everything they had at it. And I mean, they were just real troopers the whole way through. They didn't complain about anything. They were rolling in the mud, slipping in the rain, covered in blood. They did everything, and they just loved it. Hey,
that's awesome. Yeah, it's like they went head on right to it. And one of the characters that really surprised me was in some way not surprising, but it was Kato, Russell's character, because he reminded me of Battle Royale's Kiriyama. Like, he became like this psychopath. He just was willing to do what it takes to survive, and he didn't care who he had to kill in the process. It's like he slowly descended into that madness, and I think that's what helped elevated the film as well.
Look, yeah, you need that propelling force. Like, we couldn't, I mean, if they're all nice guys, you're going to have 9 people running away from each other, just killing themselves in the work, basically committing suicide for 90 minutes, So we couldn't, we needed someone to be the active, like, antagonist and take the bull by the horns and go wild with it. And Russell, the guy who played Kato, I mean, he's such a nice guy in real life. It's quite intimidating watching that switch when the camera starts rolling.
Yeah.
And you just see the two personalities just completely and utterly disappear. He's just like the nicest guy. And I mean, he was worried about taking the character too far, but we just felt it just felt so right on set to let him loose.
Yeah, I mean,
we didn't rein him in at all.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't that much over the top, in my opinion. He really wasn't. He wasn't that over the top. I thought he was more. I think he fit it perfectly, especially because even before the whole madness happened, you know, he did voice to Ryan about his displeasure that she was dating the rock star, and so it's kind of like, okay, that might have something to do with it. But then, you know, once he went to full psycho mode, I think he did it perfectly.
Awesome. Yeah, I think he'll be glad to hear that, because he was stressing out that he had gone over the edge a bit.
So, how long did shooting take, and what obstacles did you face?
So we were scheduled to shoot for 17 days, and then we just got rained out super badly. So we ended up shooting for about 14 days. The rain was the big obstacle, and then obviously the whole film takes place at night. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you know, you're shooting a film at night, that's bad enough, but now you're in the it's torrential rain, your lights are exploding, they're on cranes, your camera is misting up. It was all related to that kind of stuff, you know. Even the rain would damage the vests, and the vests would, you know, short circuit and, you know, stop working. So it was all related to the rain. Like, it was just, it got to some really dark nights and real deep moments of the soul there, you know, where you start regretting every single life decision that got you to this moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, we stayed positive, and everyone in the cheesy Disney movie way kind of pulled together and finished the film.
That's awesome. And I gotta say this, as of late, I felt I told Ryan this the other day too. Like, I feel like South Africa's film industry is starting to rise up again, like in a major way, and it inspired me to start watching some of the older stuff, like even back from like the 80s and even the 70s, because I started catching them on some of these streaming channels, and and I feel like South Africa is now becoming once again like a really good industry for films, and I think this film right here, Triggered, is really taking the cake with that, because this is an amazing film. I felt like I was watching an American Hollywood B movie, and hearing that it's a South African film, I'm just like blown away by it.
Well, I mean, that's like the double-edged side of it. You know, it's like we are obviously selling it as an American film, and we're shooting it as an American film with American accents. Mm-hmm. And like, there's a part of me that feels bad about doing it. You know, it's like almost like white boxing it to sell it as something else. But, you know, I've done the South African accents before and stuff, and, you know, it just doesn't get the wide release. It's relegated, no matter how commercial the film may seem. It's always like put into the art house kind of category, you know. So I'm hoping that, like, South African films do get recognized and you know, get the exposure that they deserve, and we can start, you know, putting out like a little bit more original content, you know. I mean,
totally.
Yeah, you know, there's some big South African directors at the moment making huge Hollywood movies, and, you know, like, yeah, they started off in South Africa.
Yeah, like Gavin Hood and Daryl Root, to name a few.
Yeah, there's Michael Matthews now that just did Monster Problems. That was a huge hit for Paramount. Donovan Marsh did Hunter Killer, the submarine film, and hopefully,
you'll be the next one, because hopefully in this movie, blew me away, and I'm hoping you'll be the next one.
Yeah, me too.
So finally, with film and TV production on the rise, returning after the whole pandemic, are there any new projects in the works that you can talk about?
Yes, I mean, this was my segue, like, into more action-based stuff. My previous things were all like very like supernatural horror kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So we've busy securing funding and financing on a bigger action film that we're going to shoot down in South Africa probably early next year. It's a twist on a common action trope. And it's the same team as Triggered. So, yeah, we're excited that we're keeping the family together.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. I can't wait to see that.
Cool. Thank you.
So, Triggered is coming out on November 6th, and those who love a good Battle Royale / Saw type of film, they will want to see this, and because this is an amazing film. And, Alastair, thank you so much again for taking the time to get to talk about the movie.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Albert.
All right, you take care.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.